Think of all the people who came to the conclusion that God is good when they saw Jesus with their own eyes. The shepherds. The angels appear to them first, and they leave the sheep behind, and they go running to Bethlehem, and they see Jesus, and they come to the conclusion that God is so good, and they are so convinced of it that they tell everybody in town, and then they go back to their fields rejoicing, singing praises, even though nobody else was listening. They saw that God was good. The wise men, having traveled from a long ways away looking for something they weren't even sure existed, but then they saw Jesus, and they saw God. Oh, God is good. He guided us, He directed us, He protected them. God is good. You think of any of the number of individuals recorded in the Bible whom Jesus healed. The blind man. He was able to see Jesus. The first thing he saw when he opened his eyes, he saw that God was good. It was good to him. The crippled. The one lowered down from the roof by his friends, who was not only given the right to walk again, he was given the right to walk through life knowing he was forgiven of everything. He saw God was good. Those standing at the foot of the cross. The soldier who, after a long day, a hard day, was really impacted by what had happened. And he looked at the man who died there and said, he really was the Son of God. And he felt in a new way that God was good to him. Or that same day, the thief hanging next to Jesus, who turned his head toward Jesus and asked to be remembered by him. Just remembered. And Jesus turned to him and promised him paradise that day. He saw that God was good. The disciples on Easter morning who came to the tomb, they were a little confused, wanting to believe, but not entirely believing, until that night when Jesus appeared right in front of their own eyes, when they were behind locked doors. And this guy is good. This guy is really good. More powerful than death, stronger than death. He's good. All these people who saw Jesus and came to the conclusion that he's good. Near the end of Psalm 27, David said something about God's goodness, about the goodness of the Lord. He says, I'm still confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And of course, because of what the baby in the manger grew up to do on the cross, and on the third day, coming out of the empty tomb, you get to say that too. I am confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. You will see it with your own eyes. You will see him with your own eyes. And you will see him good. You will see his goodness in ways that you can't even imagine and I can't describe. You will. There's nothing going on in your life, there's nothing going on in this world that's going to stop that from happening. But keep in mind that you just only will see the goodness of the Lord. You will see it someday in the future, but the promise that comes with Christmas is that he's also being good to you in the present. He is good to you. He is watching you. He's graciously guarding you. He sees you. He knows you. He's caring for you. He's defending you. He's thinking of you. And always with the same love that put him in the manger. Always with the immense love that drove him to the cross. Always. God is good to you now. And one day you will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Merry Christmas, and rest well tonight, my friends.